80% of people think they're not talented at making music, and the other 20% think they're absolute experts. Okay, that's not true, I just made that statement up. But in general, most people either overestimate themselves or completely underestimate themselves. In this video, you will be able to test your knowledge and see if you're as good as you think you are. For every correct answer, you get 1 point. If you're getting a score from 0 to 8, you're a noob. If you're between 9 and 16, you're a pro. And if you score between 17 and 24, you're a straight music expert. In this video, I will be covering music theory, a bit of music history, facts about instruments and notation, basically any category you could imagine. If you don't get the score you desired, don't worry, I will link a video at the end that will give you a first starting point to learning more about music. What is this? You can pause the video if you like, I'm just going to reveal the answer. It's not just a bassoon, it's a contrabassoon, famously known for playing so low that you nearly can't hear it. This is the alto flute. In what key is it commonly transposed? The answer is in G. That's really not an easy question, and it's a nightmare to read for conductors. Transposing in G is disgusting. What is this instrument here? Correct, it's the celesta, famously known for pieces like the Magic Flute, the Nutcracker, and the Harry Potter soundtrack. What's this instrument? Exactly, the one instrument that no one wants to play, the viola. Okay, one more instrument. What is this? Small clarinet, called clarinet in E flat. As you might have realized, these are not perfectly common instruments you would see every day. Normal people would be absolutely clueless about what these are. There was a guy in my school who always told a friend of mine not to forget his tuba, which was in fact a trumpet. I literally lost faith in humanity when I heard that the first time, so don't feel too bad about not knowing these. Now it gets spicy. On which line on the staff is the A in the alto clef? I even give you a hint so that you don't go home with 0 points. The middle of the clef indicates the C, so you just have to count. The resolution, the A is on this line. Why? As I mentioned, the middle of the clef here notes the C. And when this is a C, this is a B, and this is an A. If you said that it's here, that's obviously also true. If you happen to be a viola player, you got lucky with that question because for violas, this is the normal clef they use every day. What is this chord called? It's a diminished 7th chord. It just consists of minor thirds. It is famously known for being pretty dramatic, and it's also known for its tonal ambiguity, so it can resolve itself into multiple different chords. How many beats are in this bar? I'll give you a few seconds. The right answer is 4 beats and 1/16 note, so technically 4.25 beats. What is an alternative note to this note that sounds exactly the same? For example, B, or an A with 2 sharps, or a D with 3 flats. In the end, if you execute out the flats and sharps, which either increase or decrease the note by 1 semitone each, you will come out at the B. How do you call this interval? This is a diminished 4th. Why actually? Because the F flat is nothing else than an E. It could be a major 3rd. If you want to find the interval, you look at the notes without accidentals first. And then it's obviously a 4th, not a 3rd. If you then count every semitone, you will realize that 1 semitone is missing for a 4th, and this is called a diminished 4th. What are the most common compositional structures that were used in the classical period? I don't know if there's one main answer, so I just give you 4 options. If you got any one of these, you get a point. First, the sonata, the symphony, the concerto, and the string quartet. What does con fuoco mean? It means with fire. What does allegro ma non troppo mean? It means fast but not too fast. Whatever this means, it's heavily dependent on the piece you play. An easy one. What does rit dot mean, and for what does it stand? Rit is retardando, and it means to gradually decrease the tempo. What is the difference between this sign and a crescendo? The difference is, when you look at the sign, there's a start and an end point, so you have to get louder in a particular time frame or a specific part in the sheet music. Crescendo has not really an end point, most of the time. Very often, the next dynamic in the sheet music will indicate how much crescendo should be done, and for how long. Who is considered the father of the symphony and the father of the string quartet? The right answer is Franz Joseph Haydn. What was the first opera ever composed? I give you a hint, it's not Monteverdi's L'Orfeo. The answer is Daphne by Jacopo Peri. He wrote the opera in 1597, that's over 400 years ago. Sadly, there is no sheet music of the opera, so we can't listen to it anymore. Next one. What specific period do Debussy and Ravel belong to? 20th century is not enough. The answer is Impressionism. It's a genre that focuses more on mood, atmosphere and sound, less on structure and directness. How did Jean-Baptiste Lully die? That's actually, I don't know if it's okay to say, pretty funny. He struck his own foot with the conducting staff while leading an orchestra. The wound became infected and he died because of it. Conducting bands were much larger back in the days, as you can see in this picture right here. What is this building right here? This is the most famous concert hall in the entire world. It's the Berlin Philharmonic. Who is this violinist? It's an easy one. She has been with Twisted Violin, so you probably have seen her. Hilary Hahn, one of the greatest violinists of our time, in my opinion. Which famous composer was born in this building? It was Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart in Salzburg. I went there last year. It's pretty cool, but I'm not the type of guy who really likes to go to museums, so it was okay. And another famous concert hall? Yes, this is the Bayreuther Festspielhaus, built by and for Richard Wagner. Last question. Who is this guy right here? The answer, it's Hector Berlioz, one of my favorite composers. Symphonie Fantastique is probably one of the top 10 symphonies of all time in my opinion. If you haven't listened to it, you should check it out. Let me know your score in the comments. I'm genuinely interested if this was too difficult or too easy. If you didn't get to pro level, you should check out this video right here. I wish I would have seen it earlier in my life as a musician. Thanks for watching, and we see each other in the next one.